All right. Well, we'll get started here. This is going to be a series of professional development lectures or seminars or kind of workshops in a way, addressing and talking about publishing, presenting your research in academic journals and conferences. My name is Plonsky. I'm a faculty member in the TESOL program in education. And so I wanted to give the series of lectures to sort of contribute to anyone who's interested in publishing and presenting their work, contribute to the community a little bit at Westcliff in terms of how to get some of your work out there. And so I'll start off with a quick overview of an agenda, and I'm going to actually make 6 of these lectures. They should be relatively short, and I've broken them up into these 6 topic areas. So you can feel free to go through them all. They go in, I think, a pretty natural sequential order. But if you want to just pick and choose the ones that are most interesting or relevant to you, or that maybe that are most timely with respect to a project that you're working on right now, that might be one way to go as well. And I'm sort of broken them generally into 2 broad categories. The first category on the first 4 videos has to do with publishing your research, something that a lot of us in academia care a lot about. And the other category is at presenting at conferences, which is also hugely important to the community of research, to advancing knowledge, to your own professional development, to your colleagues' professional development, to your field, whatever field that might be. And so I've broken them into these 2 different areas, and I'll just quick right now give a brief overview of what I'm going to cover in each of these 6 videos. So this is actually video 0, so just the introductory video going over the agenda. The first video, I'm going to talk about why you might be interested in publishing and presenting your work. And for a lot of us, this is something that maybe we haven't questioned. Some of you maybe not be presenting and publishing your work right now. Maybe you want to be thinking about, maybe you should, but maybe not sure why there's value or why you might want to spend your time on that as opposed to just on your teaching or on reading other people's research. So some of the benefits you might get out of actually producing and contributing to the academic literature and the academic knowledge base in your discipline. Second video is going to be address the manuscript preparation. And so actually, okay, so yes, in video 1, we know that we want to publish, and we know why we want to publish, why we want to present at conferences, and not just attend conferences, but also present. And the second video, we'll talk about how to put together that manuscript if our goal is to publish our work in academic or professional journal. How do we go about doing that? So of course, in the 3 main steps we're going to talk about in that video are choosing a topic, which is its own sort of potentially daunting and challenging task. How you might go about landing on a topic that's going to be right, that's going to be right for you, a good fit. And then second, writing work that will get accepted, because if you're not writing in a way and producing manuscripts that are going to be accepted and of interest to academic journals, then you're not achieving that goal of actually publishing and contributing to the academic literature or professional literature. And then, and part of that, and third in that video, I'm going to talk about how to know whether you're choosing the right venue or the right journal for dissemination of your work. Okay, so that's in video 2 on manuscript preparation. Manuscript 3, so following the preparation of a manuscript, of course, the next step is the journal submission process. And I feel like that gets its own video, because that process can be sometimes kind of grueling and intimidating and shrouded in a lot of mystery, and it just doesn't need to be that way. And so video 3 is going to talk about how to navigate that process, which again can be unnecessarily vague and unclear to a lot of people, especially if you don't have a lot of experience going through that journal submission process. And then the last video lecture specifically related to publishing are just sort of miscellaneous items, so 6 more suggestions on publishing. And just to give you a little bit of background of where I come from in terms of my ideas and presenting these videos and these lectures on professional development, and specifically on publishing and presenting research. I'm sort of presenting perspectives as an author. I certainly try to contribute a lot to my academic field of applied linguistics and TESOL, and specifically second language acquisition. And I do a lot of work in research methods as well. and especially in terms of applied linguistics, especially in terms of instructed second language acquisition. But I also, in addition to being an author, I'm also a frequent reviewer of manuscripts for academic journals as a peer reviewer. And so we'll talk about peer review a little bit in the journal submission process seminar. And in addition to that, I also I work as an editor for 2 different journals. I edit 2 journals in my field. I'm the associate editor of a journal called Studies in Second Language Acquisition, which is published by Cambridge University Press, and another journal which is called Foreign Language Annals, which is published by Wiley, and that's the flagship journal of the American Council on Teaching of Foreign Languages. And so between the reviewing that I do as a sort of service to the community and the editing that I also do for these journals, another service to the community, I come in contact with a lot of authors and a lot of papers. And then in addition to that, being an author myself of a lot of research, I've published, I think, 40-some journal articles and book chapters, and 9 books, either that have been written and published or that are already under contract and that are in preparation. Excuse me. Just in those experiences, I've collected a lot of ideas and thoughts and suggestions for how this publication process can be made more smooth and more transparent for authors and people that are interested in publishing. So I wanted to share those in this series of lectures. In the last 2 lectures in the series, I'm going to talk about first getting work accepted into conferences and how to go about doing that, how to be really increase your chances of submitting proposals to conferences that are going to be accepted so that you'll be able to present your work and share that and engage with the academic community in those venues. And then once you get accepted, 10 tips for presenting at academic conferences, sort of just a list of do's and don'ts, how to make successful presentations that will be most fulfilling and worth your time, and also the time of and the energy and the interest of those in attendance at the conference. So I mentioned before that my background is in applied linguistics and TESOL and second language acquisition and education, and also maybe more generally. So a lot of the examples I'm going to give in the course of this series of mini lectures are going to be related to those fields. But in talking with, I have close colleagues in other related fields, other social sciences, in business. And I find that a lot of these are really universal across, especially the social sciences and education, but as well as the humanities to some extent as well. So wherever you're coming from, there's probably some similarities. It could be some differences as well. I have to put that as a caveat, but a lot of the principles and the strategies and techniques and the processes that I'm going to describe in these videos should be applicable. So with that, I'll stop and I'll go on to the first video of the lecture series on, first of all, why you might want to publish and present your work out there in the academic community. Thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video.